Oh, sweet Jesus.
With my enemies encircling me and a limited amount of time to survive, I only have a slight amount of time to talk about Linear A's upcoming Ancients and Medieval range. But let's quickly go through what kind of miniatures they have, and hopefully I'll get out of this alive.
So after escaping the Terminator sent from the future by traveling through a cut in the fabric of reality and real space-time,
Here we go.
I discovered that the real reason it was hunting me was not because it wanted to prevent this excellent review of Linear A's upcoming releases, but because in the future I will allegedly meet someone developing an early prototype of Skynet and tell them that AI was for buttholes and that they should put their entire net worth into GameStop and pamp the markets instead, thusly saving the fate of the world as we know it. So anyways, the Terminator had to prevent me calling that dude a butthole or Skynet wouldn't exist, and for some reason totally wasn't concerned about the awesome upcoming releases for Linear A in 1/72nd scale, despite the detail of the sculpting and the realism and in some cases the dynamism of the poses. The Terminator had also not considered how, in terms of subject, these miniatures are also expanding the scope for 1/72nd Ancients, covering subjects not covered before, or exploring familiar subjects in exciting new ways, and as such, they are, in my opinion, the most exciting and innovative manufacturer in 1/72nd Ancients in 2021. But the Terminator just cares about Skynet. What a butthole. But I care about miniatures. I know people only want one thing, and that's Primaris Space Marines, and I know that cheap, detailed, characterful, historically accurate miniatures don't matter anymore, but gosh darn it, I didn't make videos for the ink. I make them because I love this stuff. Now, what I'm about to cover won't be new as the months go on, and if you're watching this in the future, fellow time traveler, know that this is a snapshot of a time before the release of some glorious minis, and, you know, before the extinction of the human race by genocidal robots. But they didn't manage to silence this very important information, which I know they'll care about because of how important this is. Any day now. Holy righteous trees with dicks. Just look at these goddamn f***ing miniatures. You best back the fuck up because these crazy bastards are crisp with detail? Shit. These fucking minis are the ultimate in Greek technology. Armor, spear, and bowels the size of Jupiter. Only this time, they're not the 300 with their sweet pecs and gleaming oiled muscles. No homo. They're the 10,000, which is 33.33, repeating of course, more powerful than the 300, and is therefore over 9,000. That's a pretty high power level. Linear A have blasted face first into the frontier of innovation with a variety of marching and standing poses, which in plastic form has literally never happened. No, seriously, they haven't existed before now. These minis are literally the equivalent of a wheel when we are still ooga boogering in caves and Linear have just shown up in a Tesla saying, "Get in, bitch." You get in the car, and when you're retelling the story to your kids, tell them to never get in a car with strangers because that shit is dangerous. But that one time you did it, it worked out, no one died, and you got some sweet minis out of it. So, you know, all good. If you want Greek hoplites not doing dumb shit like fighting, but doing real man shit like walking and standing, because you know the real fight is in the mind, you need the unit diversity they can provide for a classical Greek army. So these miniatures would be best suited for the early 5th century BC. There's just so much character in these minis and they're so historically accurate. This dude has a farmer's hat. This dude is dual wielding fucking javelins. This dude is about to go to a nice party. And you can see the detail in the folds of clothing, the lifelike faces. Imagine if you threw a mad house party and you brought these bad boys out and your friends are all like, "Holy shit, fuck!" And then they try to steal these miniatures off you because they can't handle not having them. And that is why you have to invest in a baseball bat right the fuck now. I recommend the ones made by Cold Steel. They come in the black branding, they work the best. Plus, they come with a lifetime guarantee. Yours, not theirs. Oh my sweet giddy fucking aunt, I am going out of my fucking mind just looking at these miniatures. I need to order some right now so I can melt them and inject them into my veins. Holy steaming cockmongling shit. Are those some fucking Romans getting railed on by huge German men like in your deleted internet history? By Nurgle's acidic piss. I need to get a set of these before my eyes explode in their sockets. Look at the dynamism of those entwined bodies. It's so emotional and intimate in the throes of mortal combat. It's reminding me of my ex-girlfriend. God damn. There is so much character, and each miniature tells a story. It's like you're buying Charles Dickens to take home with you, so you can put him on a shelf and make him your storytime slave. These miniatures are so early in production, they don't even have box art yet. But you know it's just going to be the most insane, graphic violence, which is the only way I can be aroused anymore. So if you're trying to make a diorama of Teutoburg Forest after watching Barbarians, or you just want your unit bases to have some gacking soul, you need to chart a boat to Italy or Germany, or wherever they're made, and infiltrate the HQ, because this shit is not getting released yet, and I can't think of any other way of getting them. Look at these bad motherfuckers. Seriously, what the shit? Sweet and sour Korean Jesus. You know you want these, goddamn. Makes me want to divide by 0, but that's impossible. Much like the sculptural magnificence of these Celtic warriors, which I think are the best Celts made in 1/72 so far. And I've made a lot of Celts. Wow. Look at the quality of these sculpts. The things that have caught my eye in particular are the balls hanging out, just dick and balls. I'm just kidding. Are the hairstyles and the strong poses. If you look at attempted limed hair on other Celtic figures, they don't quite stand up, or they look quite tame and even. You can see individual punk-like spikes formed from the hair on each model, which I haven't seen in 1/72 Celts before, even on great minis such as those produced by Caesar Miniatures, which before this I saw as the foremost example of great Celtic minis. These new sculpts look like they could have been produced by Games Workshop, which is very impressive. Then look at the poses. Look at the narrative in all of them. The crouching warrior, presumably on a ledge, waiting on ambush. The spear wielder, surveying the landscape, foot astride a stone. The javelin wielder, also looking down, probably from a vantage point. The charging Celtic fanatic. They all tell a story. The miniatures have an inherent narrative. You can get emotions and vibes at a glance, which is fantastic. If you look at the sculpting itself, you can see clear definition for muscles. I've already mentioned the hair, but you can see the naked spear wielder has sculpted genitalia. Again, we haven't seen this before, and the detail is impressive. No homo. And it shows that Linear A is truly committed to making fantastic, detailed miniatures. I think these minis are at least equal, and might even exceed the best Celtic minis on the market today. Giant buckets of armadillo testosterone. Are those some fucking Samnites? Step up to the store like a real man and start emptying your wallet on the counter. Goddamn. You know what it takes to defy Rome? Fucking giant buckets of armadillo testosterone, that's what. So when you're running Samnites, you know you're riding with the biggest globed bitches on this side of Italy. So far, Hat has a decent set of Italian allies, but now we get a whole dedicated set to Samnites, and that's fantastic! Look at those tricircular disc armors, and the feathers on the helms, which look a bit like Republican Roman infantry. I guess the points of differences are in the tridiscs and the color schemes and the smaller shields, and that's kind of it. Don't bitch out! These miniatures are amazing! Fucking Gandhi would wake up from the dead and starve himself again just for miniatures like these. Whatever, I'm gonna make Samnites. I don't care if they look similar to Republican Romans. I'll make them colorful, individual, and mountain bases and stuff. There's a great amount of poses, of course, for the miniature connoisseur, and the detail is outstanding as usual, so I'm very excited for this set. These are okay. I like them. I like the stock. I like how they look. I don't think the Tarantines have been covered in plastic form before, and there's not many plastic Greek cavalry sets, so that's kind of neat. I like the action poses and the wide variety of equipment. These are nice. Shit. Cake-sniffing orphans rotating on Ares iron balls. I'm going to lose my voice if I keep yelling. Hellenistic pikemen are on the menu, and these early samples show Phrygian and Thracian helmets. The Phrygian appears to be wearing a normal tunic, but Thracian helm appears to be wearing chainmail, which was associated with Celts and Romans. So this could be an example of battlefield looting. We've never had a dedicated set to King Pyrrhus's army, and I can only think of one plastic set of Hellenistic pikemen in production right now, representing Mithridatic heavy infantry. Linear A have a whole bunch of other releases in the pipeline, and it'll be exciting to see. What? What is that? Hot damn, that's crazy. That is the most gangster shit. Ligurians? What the fuck is a Ligurian? Oh, that's crazy. You see that? Linear A have balls. They don't care, they're here to make shit. Which reminds me, I'm still escaping from the Terminator. Alright, I've escaped, so hopefully you've got a view of 1/72 Ancient, and you know, all the I got out of the skin of my teeth. Oh shit!